Picture this. Underneath the margins, your words can breathe. Got your listeners tilting isosceles the way you holding volcanic quills, spitting decrees. Better believe it flows like these. You got gills, screaming at daffodils or dreaming in mandrills, derivative of skills. You're built in the workshop, rocking with Ra. Cause in life, the woodshed don't stop. It don't stop. It don't stop. Don't stop.
Hey, what's happening? I really like seeing myself on camera. I like that video that was just shown a whole lot, but enough about me. Welcome to Open World, Open Mic. I am your host, Rob Brown, representing Words, Beats, and Life, and this is brought to you by Words, Beats, and Life. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. I heard we have a couple poets in the house to do their thing this evening, and so, hey, Ajay, hey, Jorrin, how y'all doing? Yay. So we're going to do like a little round robin thing. That's what I find that we do when it's just like a few of us on this open mic. And we're going to get the word out and tell our friends, Ajay, Jorrin, right? We're going to do that and tell them about every other Wednesday, Open World, Open Mic, hosted by myself and Patrick Washington, who's not with us. Special shout out to Patrick of Poem MCs. That's how we do it out here in these streets. No. Okay. Anyway. We're gonna get it popping though, and I'm gonna jump right in because we started just a little bit late, but you know, words catch up, and that's what we're about to do. I'm gonna start with Ajay. All right, let's do it like that. Ajay, just introduce yourself, a little something, and get right into it. Keep it a little clean for maybe the audience that's out there that's like a little, you know what I'm saying?
Hello,
You know what I'm saying? Represent.
that's cool. What's up, y'all? My name is Ajay. I have a lot of clean and very vivid poetry today from my heart, and that's all I want to say. This piece, I just wrote it prior to coming on here. It's called Wayfinder, and it was prompted by one of my other classmates in WL, Amari. Thoughts just be getting in the way. I used to hang my head down as the rainfall trickled down to my toes, covered in rubber, connected to no soul, and no soul felt through the earth and me. Thoughts just be getting in the way. I wonder of the day I recalled them to the fleet and commanded them to flee. Thoughts no longer getting in the way as the chambers of my heart open. I wonder not of all the time lost, understanding the vibration chosen moment to moment. What is rather filled with bliss when you let it be. Become the dream you lived when you put yourself to sleep from the reality that recalled you to fleet and commanded your true essence to flee. Breathe. Moment to moment. What is, ain't it beautiful? When your thoughts are no longer in the way, altering your perception. Rather, you and your thoughts are hand in hand, looking in different directions. I now glare up at the skies and the seas as the rain falls, trickle down to my bare feet, connecting my souls to the souls of the ethers. My thoughts now remind me of all I am to be.
Ajay's voice is absolutely amazing. And I know y'all can't really tell me that. I don't know if you're out there in the world, just type something that her voice is amazing. That was an excellent piece. Thank you for sharing that. That was really dope.
Thank you.
Very, very dope. If it feels
I
like
do have a podcast if you'd like to hear more of my voice.
You know what? Shout yourself out. You better plug, girl. Plug.
My Instagram is Internal Waters, and my podcast is Del Mar's Womb.
Del Mar Womb. Okay. We might have to Del Mar Womb. WOMB.
Yes.
In the place to be. I went to. Y'all don't know nothing about that. I ain't even gonna hit y'all with no Run DMC. We're gonna jump into Jorrin. I'm not familiar with you, Jorrin. Hi. How are you? You can take it off mute, baby.
Good. I know Patrick because I'm one of the ambassadors. Oh yeah, I know Patrick and I know Amari. Me and Amari been friends.
Excellent. Damari has been in a class with the poets here, not the poets, excuse me, the artists here in this area. We kind of know each other, different little groups of us. But she worked with Goldie Patrick. Special shout out to Goldie. So she's worked with Goldie in the past, and so wanted me to know that. But okay, you work with Patrick. Patrick is cool, and that was cool that he was great. Chime in. It was right on time. We didn't even plan that. I'm looking forward to hearing you, babe. Do your thing.
Okay. This poem was, I'll try to let you guys figure it out, I guess. But it's called Frostbitten Fingers, all in the name of poetry. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but you guys can let me know. The great the green and blue sphere we dwell on has the prettiest seas and most gorgeous mountains, the most gracious winds carrying every leaf or seed to its final resting place. The wind blows my hair back. Like your fingers combing out my tangles, the wind freezes my fingers. I can't feel my ears, similar to when you burned me with a hot comb. Something that cared for you so much could never harm you on purpose. The wind just wishes to wipe away my tears, doesn't realize it's biting my toes at the same time until it's too late. It's trying to hurry me inside so as not to be harmed by the people of the earth. But the trees wave to me. They bend in half circles just to show that they care, that they will protect me from anything like your hands and your mouth and your blade. Knowing your words cut like a knife, I almost wished anyone who you heard cross me would get the sword instead of your sharp tongue. The sun's shadows switch just like your facial movements and moods. The sun casts my shadow, my second self. Like me, of you, I am somewhat your second coming. The grace the earth grants us after all we've done, compared to the grace you gave me after every broken dish or dirty room, similar to the grace God gave the world with their son. So I plan to grace this earth with my mind and my body and my heart in hopes of giving you both glory. And just as you endured for me, I will take the frostbite and freezing winds to finish these words here, whilst you and the sun watch over my shoulder, patiently waiting for my cold fingers to stop moving, for the final word to be written, like you waited for my first breath to be taken. Thank you.
Hey, Patrick, did you get a chance to hear that?
Oh, yeah, in and out. But
In and out, in and out.
yeah. But yo, somebody's taking your breath. Yo, who's stealing your breath, Jorrin?
I mean, it's that was for the sake of poetry. Nah,
Yo,
it was funny.
I needed that. I need that energy and that imagery.
Yeah, that was dope. That was very dope. I said she was telling me how she'd been in your class, and then you were logging in, and your name popped up, and it was like, well, okay, we brought you here. We did that with our minds and our words. So welcome to Open World Open Mic
Yeah,
Poetry.
yeah.
Patrick, you're frozen. I'm gonna flow this thing. I'm gonna keep it moving. You good? Okay, now he's on mute. Jordan, thank you for that, babe. I really appreciate it. That was great. Were you talking about your parents?
Yeah, I was talking about my mom.
About your mom. Okay. I've been writing a lot. I was sharing with Mozzie before we started, and decided to do this series, and I'm going to call Body Parts of just the relationships I have with the people, more like integral to my development, both physical and mental, spiritual and emotional. So yeah, I appreciate hearing that. I have a piece I'm going to share. I need to doctor it up some for the sake of this open mic. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm going to have y'all go back around one more time and get myself together over here. So Ajay is going to share another piece with us, and
Okay, cool. This piece was prompted by you, Ra, last year. You gave us a prompt and you told us to write about a time that we felt fresh. Yeah, a time we felt fresh. So this is how it goes, and it will flow into a piece that I also wrote today, now that I'm looking at it. Dawn just broke, and over the horizon, I see the sun appearing from my view. I'm so close to the light that some might burn, but I'm made of the same components. I marvel in its delight. This is why I prefer the window seat when journeying to the next country. And this time, I meant to convey a speech finding purpose beyond fear. Did you know that purpose and fear equally exist, and only one of them is real? And you are the only one in the way of achieving your destiny. You see, I had to choose which one I would speak life into. That's what it might say. And I imagine someone coming up to me afterwards to say they no longer want to live a life through facades, that they just simply want to live and create their own realities, that they'll bet on themselves and live out their dreams with no attachment to souls full of cement. And I'll keep it together. I'll encourage them on and scream yes in celebration. I drift off into a headspace where I am amazed at experiencing what I once thought was impossible. However, I'm here. So it is more than possible to show up as I am, impact, get paid, and be fulfilled by doing what I love. I'm not of this world. And that fact causes the system to want to label me. Give me absurd poisons and call it taking care of your mental wellness. However, this day is amazing for my overall wellness. I am sober, I'm free, I'm brilliant. And as I go to cleanse myself of the day, stare at my reflection in the mirror, scarred and tattooed, fresh-faced beauty with a brilliant mind. Smiling so hard my cheeks are to my eyes, no longer catching rivers flowing from them, but sending praise up to the Most High, because on this day, I received my payment in full. Someone decided to live, and I decided to live to see another rising, where the sun rises above the horizon. Take flight. There you go. Off again. Or is it the first go? No more shows. No more dwelling in the shallows. Rather playing them. Bellies full of laughter. Cries of birdies. There you go. In your nature. I read something a moment ago about how the harsher the experience, the sweeter the poem. Well, can you imagine what it took to spill out these tender words of supple, sweet nectar like honey on your lips or your child's kiss? I imagine the endurance was all things and nothing of bliss. Thank you.
Okay. I'm telling you, man. You see Jorrin. Jorrin, you see that silky smooth, like that delivery. She like, hey, her words are like water. I think that's
Feel like water.
I think that's the objective, right?
I like that.
I feel like that's the objective for you. Like everything needs to flow. I think you worked on your words being like water.
Yes.
Great thing to work on in this lifetime. I'm telling you, it really is. Everything is currency. You know what I mean? You have to allow it to flow, like energy and money. You know what I'm saying? You gotta allow it to
I
flow.
appreciate that recognition.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Water.
Oh,
Because
all
that's
day.
the intention.
Indeed, indeed.
It took some
Jorrin,
practice too.
Jordan, what you got? What you got? What you got for me? I'm in like one of these when you write a lot. I don't know if you've spent like a great deal of the day just in it, incredibly inspired, and you can feel it all up in here. It's like, you know what I mean? And so I've been writing and learning so much about myself is really wild. Like even at this stage and age of the game, just writing just teaches me so much about me and the world that I've created. You know what I mean? The world that I live in, the one I've created around me, the moving parts and the parts that I have no control over, and I'm okay with it. You dig? So that's where I am. You know what I mean? I'm on some, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. Let me hear from you, babe. Do your thing.
Okay. This was finished like 10 minutes ago, so it's not as smooth as I wanted, but I kind of wrote it for this, but not really, I guess. But it's called Coming into Womanhood. They say be aware of your surroundings. Don't look back if they call out to you. Ignore the sounds of the ghosts that dwell on these streets. The street signs will point you home. They say don't wear anything too short or too revealing, anything too tight or too appealing. You can't expect men to not look at you in the outfit you pick. Your hips are too wide. Why wouldn't a man on the street compliment you? Don't women like it when men compliment them? Our girlfriends and wives enjoy it when we mention their new looks, like changing hair or clothes. I know women don't really want to be left alone. You enjoy the chase and the persistence. Your resistance will fade away in time. Just give me some of your time. I know you want my attention, and you got it. I hear women want a good Christian man, and the preachers say women are only to speak when spoken to. Didn't you hear me speak to you? Why aren't you answering? I know you said you're in a hurry. I know you said you're only 16, so your parents will get worried, but you should show me some respect as your elder. I know you said you're only 16, but you got the body of a 24-year-old, so I don't think anyone will notice. Did you notice me outside the store? I've been waiting to talk to you since you first went in. You took so long, I almost went in, but I didn't. I waited for you to come out. See, I have patience. Isn't that what every woman wants in a man? I followed you home in my car just to make sure you got home safe, because I'm protective like that. Isn't that what y'all want? I would have offered you a ride, but I know women don't like when men are too forward. I'm just joking. Can't you take a joke? Can't you smile? What are you, a feminist? One of those women who think men are so vile and have no self-control? If I didn't have control, I would have grabbed you by now. I wouldn't have taken the time out of my day to ride past your building to make sure your lights are on and you're home. You're probably a feminist or a womanist. Don't you know your skin color should come before your gender? You got your brain all twisted. I can untangle them and your thighs for you if you just let me. And what do you mean you don't need a man right now? Who will protect you from this cruel world? As the statement echoed in my mind, I find that I agree, but then take a moment to think. Think about why I never feel safe and what I'm afraid of in the first place. When I'm on the streets of DC, in the line at Five Guys, in church, in school, in my house, and I hear myself respond, because men are here. And I don't know how strong, patient, or persistent they or I will be today. Thank you.
Whoa. Yeah. Ajan, my apology. Ajay was saying some things on the side over here, Jorrin, like, whew. You know what I mean? And only speak when spoken to, like that. Yeah, just wow. You just finished that. You just wrote it 10 minutes ago. You just finished it 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I started writing it at like 6. I just finished it like 10 minutes before.
Okay, so it was today. Okay. I write sometimes, and then I gotta walk away from it, and walking away may amount to like a couple days for me. It all depends. You know what I mean? So that's damn. Okay. That was a lot. That was deep though. That was deep. How y'all feeling? How we feeling about this? How we feeling about ourselves in this moment as we share on the open world, open mic, represented by Words, Beats, and Life. Hey, and I'm on the MIC. Come check out me. They call me Robbie. Okay. Okay,
No,
don't do it. Don't do it. I work on my freestyle. I work on my freestyle a great deal, right? When I'm by myself. So you don't really know if I'm really telling you the truth right now. It's funny. I work on my freestyle a lot because I want that old school hip hop is like all up in here for me. It's all up, and so I work on that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of helps me with my writing. I think, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like practice. Loosen linguistics.
I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, man, like, I wish that I could just spit from the dome more often than I feel like I need to put pen to paper and write it out. Because
I
don't even find myself like memorizing poems anymore. They're just like how we was talking about in class. They just end up like conversations.
Right.
But
and
when I start thinking about, freestyling, it no longer feels like a conversation. It feels like work.
I think I coined it. I probably didn't, but I call it conversational poetry. Like, I feel like that's how I write. But it's just, I don't know. Freestyle, I don't know. Anyway, this piece is not actually about me, which is interesting. It's a combination of different conversations I've had with some of my sister friends, some of my brothers too. But I'm just going to share it with you. It feels as if it stops abruptly, but then some relationships do too. See, I just spoken a whole poem. Eruption, earthquake, eerily calm. A cycle of completion, the storm before the storm. Anger pouring over me like scorching lava, a break in my fault line. The quiet before tsunami. Drowning in the concrete before the waters, I learned to breathe deep in oceans of BS while outrunning a sniper at my own borders. Always running though. The black box of my love life constantly recording. This plane both difficult and delicate. An effort to piece together shattered glass and broken promises, I don't make them. Promises or glass. Although sand pours where ducks are supposed to swim, and my windows see clearly out and still somehow block anyone trying to look in. These patterns, so beautifully decorated with African print. Trips to lands too functional for me to fit in, or at least too good at pretending. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I calculate, carry the one, add to people, subtract some, and the answer is still, I don't know. Sometimes I yes. More times I have no life for things that need to be put to death, some people too. You never have to wonder if I rock with you. I don't fake anything very well. I prefer walking uphill. It keeps the glutes tight. The legs strong for the run before I take flight. That's what these gatherings have taught me. That we ain't equal, I ain't evil, and that we ain't meant to be. Taught me to be. So every man allowed close enough to look in, knows that arranging my furniture will only end up where I wanted it to be. See? Be. The simple, complex move for every eruption, earthquake, and tsunami, eerily calm yet always complete. I don't need you to complete me. I can destroy me all by myself. I only want the bed there, and the chair there, and the lamp right here, with or without you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I really like your voice.
Say again?
You just
I really like your voice.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can destroy me all by myself. I sure can. Yes, Maji, thank you for pointing that out. What's up, y'all? We're gonna go Jorrin and then Ajay. Okay? You ready, Jorrin?
Um, okay. This one is. You'll get it. Why would you stay? They ask. Why won't you just get up and leave? It's hard to do that when you truly believe someone can change. When you love someone so hard and you believe that they feel the same. See, abusers don't start off as abusers. Mama told me he was a sweetheart when they was college sweethearts. That he used to serenade her in their co-ed dorm rooms with his guitar. That he used to whisper softly in her ear their plans for the future, to go far off to some other country or an island. He told her he loved her voice, so she never feared one day she'd be silenced. She never believed this man was capable of any kind of violence, not even towards a fly. She later found out he hates insects, especially anything that takes flight. Maybe he thought the flies thought that they were better than him since they could soar. They realized that life is too short, so they don't stay anywhere for too long because they love to explore. That's probably why he worked so hard to break my mama's soul. See, breaking souls is the equivalent of breaking wings, and things that don't have wings can't fly away from you. They grow dependent. And I think my mama grew to hate him, but couldn't bring herself to fly or walk or crawl away. Do whatever it takes to keep her and her children safe, but see, I don't blame her. Sometimes I ask myself what I would do in her position. I would like to believe that I would leave, but you never know. Domestic violence is most common between the ages of 16 and 24, so although I don't foresee myself in such a twisted predicament, I know that my soul before coming to this earth didn't envision me sitting in a house where I could hear muffled screams and shouts coming from the bedroom right next to mine. So what I'm saying is, life don't give you a layout of what will happen while you dwell on this planet for whatever amount of time that you're here. Another thing I ask myself is if I could potentially repeat the cycle. Like, will these issues fester in my bones, germinate and grow roots and corrupt my soul? Will I even notice if it happens? My daddy says he's just so passionate about his family and will do whatever it takes to keep us together, even if that means breaking us down mentally and physically, potentially forever. See, broken things don't move. Broken things can't see a life outside of their brokenness. They're stuck in cycles of chokeholds from the world that constricts their airflow. Broken things take blows from the world until they identify with being the punching bag, until they become scared when they don't get hit with a jab or thrown into cabinets, until they really do think that they trip because of their clumsy habits. My daddy says the world is out to get him, that the system is preventing him from taking our lives to the next level. But Dad, all the systems that exist don't matter to me right now. They are eclipsed by your persistent fist of fury that you release into our world and our home. And I understand that you fear being alone, but we fear you. And Mom, just know it's never too late. I remember that there was a time when you flew, so please, let's fly. So I don't have to say goodbye to you in a bloody and bruised casket. I guarantee you that whatever's out there is better than this wastebasket that we live in now. And even if you don't know how we will survive out there, I know that we will. And we must leave now before you get killed. And even if we died out there, at least we will have died exploring and soaring and free. Thank you.
I feel like you ever write something where certain lines you have to say faster and then you slow down. It's like a, you know what I mean? Like you control the wheel of the train, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like just to capture everything you want the audience to capture what it is you're saying. So things have to be sped up or you have to slow down, and it's very deliberate. I feel like that's what you do, Jorrin. Like you know what I mean? Like you go forward and you be like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? I've worked on that. That's yeah, I like that. That's a great skill. It really is. Ajay, what you thinking about? You want to share something else?
I'm writing something else that I would like to share.
All right, let's go. So
Uh,
it's not complete. It's not complete,
complete.
or it's complete for right now.
No, it's not even complete for right now. But I'd like to share my feelings about your piece, Jordan. Um, you hit home for me in a very like potent way, and your expression and the cadences that you use throughout it like allowed me to observe my own life and how I was in it when I was in the thick of it, and when I flew, and when I wished for my mother to fly,
Yeah.
and her not choosing to fly, so I fled, and
Ooh, that's a poem.
and circling right back, and now I'm currently living with her, and it's still some remnants of what was, but I'm no longer the same in it, and I'm no longer in the thick of it, and at some point I will still have to flee or evolve from this place too. So just thank you.
Very dope. That was a whole poem. Share
Yeah.
another one.
Can I
Go ahead. You want to say something, Jordan? My apology.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say that I really appreciate you saying that that my words could touch other people like that. Um, and yeah, I
Yeah,
just want to say thank you. That means a lot to me. People are affected. But
that's what's up. Ajay, let's go, babe.
Okay. So I started this off writing to my child's father, and then I switched it to him writing to me. You a coward, though I understand this energetically in the warring of the mind and spirit. Yo, I messed up, and I do not know how to return. I've been away for too long now. I haven't kept my word. I haven't honored myself. So less aligned. Am I losing time with you? It's been real haunting knowing that I won't return to you as me, and you won't recognize me, and you won't wonder of how I was once so sweet. You'll just feel the imprint of abandon. Yes, I am my father. I am your father too. Now, how fucked up of me, excuse me, that I leave you to choose. Yourself over me. But I guess it's always been that way.
Oh, so like you're writing it. Okay, I can appreciate that kind of letting us into the thought process. I can dig it. I can dig it. Little faux pas. I got you. We recover. We recover.
Yes.
We're spirits having a human experience, and I can dig it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes there are situations that happen in our lives that others, even ourselves, it really only is important. It only matters what we think about our own situations, but could be considered vulgar and sometimes call for vulgar language. That's what I tell young people when we're writing, because that's important for them to know that their experiences, could at least make them feel vulgar, and so sometimes calls for that type of language. But I think the beauty of writing, and poetry in particular, is all the different ways we can say and relay that those vulgar experiences or those vulgar thoughts we have about a particular experience.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have this thing, y'all, where I have this thing about want. I trust that if you want something, that the universe keeps you in a wanting state because you only ask to want it. That you have to train your thought process to be one that incorporates the idea that you're working towards. So I find myself, I have, or I am. I'm one of those people. I'm not so much moon, stars, and quasars like I used to be, like I call people. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not so much that anymore. And I was perfectly okay with being that too. Being a tree hugging moon, stars, and quasars. I think when I brought it back down to earth and the parts of the earth that I knew I was going to be a part of, that I had to incorporate both sides of who I am. You know what I mean? I ran the streets real hard as a young person and then learned some things going into adulthood. And now finally at this adult that I'm very, very happy with. But I did do this piece. I'm saying all this to say, I wrote this piece called I Want on purpose. But yeah, I want to share it because I like it. But I actually titled it Seven Amari. Seven and Amari are my grand boys. They call me Umi, so we don't do any grand around here. Y'all don't get any grand ideas about calling me grand anything. Okay, but this is called 7 Amari. I want to cry myself awake again, out of dreams that make me feel things I can't remember to feel when I'm awake again. I want to feel my walls breathe heavy with sigh and sanctuary and sweat down to baseboards and hardwood floors. I want the soft of what I think clouds feel like a warm bosom and the memory of pillows that coddled my young face with safety. I want the brief moments of safety again. I want mattress on mahogany flesh, blankets on ceiling fans. I want the rays of the day to filter our faces with contrast. I want another moment to last beyond time like sorrow does and grief steals. I want to sob in the mirror all the sorry I've been and be okay again with pity parties I decorated myself again. I want to scream venomous words at my lover and moan melodious notes all in the same breath, never caring what my neighbors do not understand, and less concerned with what they do understand. I want the raw of this life, the seasons and smell of today's, all of them. I want to sing in a cigar-scented room, fogged with good friends and some of my favorite men, order whiskey and pretend to care about his story when I'm living my own and trying to care about that. I want to see my 7 shine like my eyes did the day he was born, and smile that hard smile unapologetically, randomly for someone that doesn't know me. I want to see his brother Amari fall and rise, because for children, falling is no surprise, and getting up is innate and brilliant, and I want to see my memory filled with that joy. I want to remember it too. Like family and photos of when I was 3 and 33 and third trimester. I want to fall in love and walk out of it again and repeat if necessary. I want love to keep finding me. I want to keep lying to my heart that it will be better, not ever knowing that the truth hurts until I'm telling stories about broken hearts too many to count and men too stupid for me to remember. I want to be the only one that lies to my heart ever again. I want to land in lands that garnish me with wonder and browner skin than the one I'm in, tan souls having this human experience with me. I want to give away all the money in my pockets to a child begging on a dirt street with her sister wrapped around her waist and tear up at how much I waste time and talking about wasteful things. I want to laugh hard. I want to cry harder. I want to dance in the middle of a laundromat to our oblivion, just the two of us, with dryers for drums and each other as examples of what real love looks like here in this illusion. I want every conclusion to be that I lived it all my own way. I want to heal this soul and add something significant to spirit. I want God to know that I didn't always listen, but I could always hear it. I want to see my mother. I want to hug my pop. I want to sit next to them saying nothing and not knowing what to say. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, it's getting like, it started, filling me up. But anyway, I want to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I have to remember this piece when I'm writing about my mother, because her piece is coming up next. As I mentioned, I'm doing this book called Body Parts, and it's individual poems about people very close to me. So yeah, I have to remember parts of this when I write that piece about my mama and my pop. Finally, the next book, Mozzie says, yes, sir. Show is. So yeah, I want to do these things, y'all. 7 is my favorite human being, and his brother is right there with him. They kind of come together, but they're very much individuals. You know what I mean? But 7 was here first. He kind of broke me into the idea of my child having a child. Like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? So I treasure them both in that experience. Yeah, I had new eyes the day I watched her give birth to 7. She was like, I was like, this is what it means to be a queen right here, because it was amazing. It was the most remarkable thing I'd ever seen. Seriously, just the gangster she was. I was like, sheesh. Like, I wasn't that gang. I just wasn't that. You know what I mean? I was like, please, and it wasn't like I was in a lot of pain. I have a high tolerance for pain, unfortunately. But for her, it was just like she didn't want anything. Get that away from me. I don't want nothing. And I was like, really, like nothing? So yeah. It was interesting. It was very interesting. But yeah, we're gonna move right. We're gonna do a couple more, right, Mozzie? We're gonna do a couple more of these. We're gonna get Jorrin to do her thing again, Ajay to do her thing again, and maybe I'll find one more joint. And yeah, we're gonna do it like that. So let me do this. Jorrin, let's go.
This poem it was inspired by a song, but I don't know. It was kind of like a journal entry for myself. This is like the most vulnerable, I guess, I've done about a poem, besides like poems about my mother's like passing. It's titled Insecure or Insecurity. Are you sure about me? About us? I'm weird. I'm not always sure about my emotions. I sometimes cuss, and it takes a long time to earn my trust. I have a tendency to make a fuss over stupid stuff, and I wonder if that is too much for you. Sometimes I think I'm a fool or a dunce because I don't always say what I want nor what I truly feel. I'm scared to be vulnerable, and I'm scared to be too nice or too real with people in fear of hurting their feelings. I'm indecisive and sometimes feel like I can be divisive with people subconsciously, but on purpose because my inner self is telling me that I need to change and cut people off, but my conscious self doesn't want to do that if they haven't done anything that's all that wrong, but I still have a feeling that they will. And I don't know if that's paranoia or intuition, but I know that it saved me from bad situations in the past. I overthink sometimes, which can lead to rash decisions or me just freaking out in my head. When I try to stop thinking, it reminds me of a depressed alcoholic who's too scared to live the life up ahead, so they keep drinking and drinking, even though they know that they could drop dead. Overthinking and anxiety. It's an addiction. And it's an addiction, an affliction that leads to a head-on collision inside my head about past decisions and past regrets. It all kind of just makes a blurry mess in the space between my ears. I don't like when people interfere with my goals, with their opinions, because I don't want people to interfere into my thoughts on how I will achieve them. I think I care a little too much about what people think of me, and I think I make the mistake of sometimes believing them. I'm also a recovering people pleaser. I sometimes seem wishy-washy because I sometimes don't say what I want the first time, and I hate time stealers, and oftentimes people think I'm fine when I'm not. I guess I'm a good actress. Or I'm a good artist because this mask that I have carefully constructed causes my face to seem harmless, as if I am weak. But those who know me, I defeat anything in my path, at least when I'm mad. But that rarely happens because this mask I have crafted doesn't make space for anger. I might have a fear of leaving people because my subconscious knows I've been left a few times. I know that change is constant, but I'm scared to change on other people in fear that I will embody those who have hurt me and left me behind in the past. But when other people change on me, I think it's fine because humans have been doing that since the beginning of time, and who am I to change human behavior? I'm not Jesus Christ the Savior, but I do save people. I save people from making bad decisions and from making bad decisions and from my wrath, from falling behind in life, from beating up on themselves until they're broken in half. And I know people ain't built like me, so I don't treat them how I'm treated. I know I should extend the same grace to myself as I do others, but things are easier said than done. I sometimes think I'm a Gemini because I swear I got multiple sides to me, which some might say is crazy. But then I think, isn't God just three of themselves in one? So if I am made in their image, then that explains why I am the sun of my friend group, giving light and inspiring growth. This explains why the galaxy that is me is some people's gospel. I'm such a likable person, and although people sometimes are draining me, I know that I speak life into people, so I don't blame them for wanting to be in my vicinity. If you could have a personal talk with a God, wouldn't you want to? Especially if they can help you through your problems. Now, I ain't saying I got all the answers, but people think I do. They always come to me to be their personal therapist, and although that can be a stressful mess, I know that these talks with people could be a test to help me find the best possible calling for my life. So after examining all of this internal strife, I realized that there's no reason to be insecure. I'm surely imperfect, but no more than you are. You would be lucky to have me in your life just like all the rest. And for those who are lucky enough to be loved by me, know that you are blessed, because I care more than most, and I better your life by helping you address your own fears and issues, even if I have a hard time addressing mine. Thank you.
Yo, thank you for loving me enough to share that piece. Jordan, that was it was vulnerable and transparent, and it's all the things I love about, different pieces that I hear. The transparency and the vulnerability. I dig it. I
Thank you.
dig it. You dig. That was excellent. I'm being told that I need to invite you to my workshop, Jordan. Would you like to be in a workshop with me, Jordan? They tell me I'm a pretty good teacher.
You seem like that.
I'm an excellent teacher, Jordan. No, I'm just playing. No, that piece was absolutely amazing. I dropped microphone, she dropped the phone. Okay. Yeah, that was really dope. That was really dope. I like the play on words you did with yeah. Oh, that was really dope. But this is what I'm gonna do. Before I'm gonna jump in the middle of y'all. Ajay, you mind?
No.
Ajay is very transparent and vulnerable in her pieces too. I love it. But I'm gonna jump in the middle, y'all, because I decided I do want to finish this. It's not that much left. I want joint. I want to pick it up. I want to finish it. Okay. I want to see my mother. I want to hug my pop and sit next to him saying nothing and not knowing what to say. I want to hear my cousin's vulgar vocabulary sang the alphabet song. I want to be right again, and I want to be wrong. I want nothing of a world that allows once knowing that you can always have what you want. I want nothing of a world that allows once knowing that you can always have what you want because you're only asking to want it. I have time. And my will isn't strong, it's broken and taped together with video and caption and photo and story, and protecting that fragility will either cause the death of you or the death of me. And so I have this: a pen and page and purpose. Purpose. Wanting what I already have and calling it poem. I want to know better, and I do. I just know that it doesn't matter. I want I love yous after misunderstandings. I want to tell him what I need without being demanding, but more, I want him to want to give me his all. I want vulnerable and open and kind and thrilling, or nothing at all. I have this: a pen, a page, and purpose. I just want this life. I just want this life's overwhelming, heart racing, feet pounding, eyes pouring feeling of want. One more time. That's it. Hey. Yeah. But
This
just
is what your writing does, not just the way you write, but it's the conviction behind your voice.
oh yeah, I just my mother and my father are still here, and I'm thankful for that. But my father, has gone through some things, so he doesn't talk to me as much as he used to after a couple of strokes and such. He doesn't have the same conversations and such. Um, and so it's interesting, and that's why I said I want to sit beside him and talk about nothing, or not know what to say, like say nothing and not know what to say. Is like very real for me because I'm okay. I'm content, just coming over being quiet with him, like a lot of my friends have with me over my years. They would call me and be like, "Rock, can we come be quiet with you?" I'm like, "Sure." At least you know me well enough to know I don't have a lot of rap. So if you want to come be quiet, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Ajay is going to tell us what's on her mind in these moments. Welcome her back.
Hello. I'd like to read y'all a series of letters. Um, I think that these letters are probably the only things that I've written that don't have any curse words in them. But the message still gets conveyed. Dear Father, many moments sat at the feet of your roots, gazing upward, unable to see through your eyes. Many moments that would seem to just lapse by from your comatose high. Moments would pass by and I learned too about taking flight. Flying so far from the earth of self, you almost feel like you're falling into nothing or everything. There are many moments where we were bound by the spell and blissing of silence. Do you know what your heartbeat sounds like when you're in the presence of the essence of you? Your greatest love is also your most profound disaster, rather disruptor. Maybe you'll see the beauty in that irony one day, maybe you won't. That is neither here nor there. You, my love, the co-creator of my existence, thank you for showing me that I am worthy of thriving in balance and that it is good to feel everything through your numbing negligence. May you will to know yourself beyond the veil, and when you do, may you finally see yourself from the root up and glare into the infinite wonders through your eyes. May you will to create the reality that enhances and edifies your mind, body, soul with love and harmony. Dear my greatest lover, you are the dirt I return to. Bare in the winds, my nips full, my heart pumps full of blood, and I am done bleeding out to soothe wounds that were never designed to be coddled. You are profound in your ways. Your tongue speaks fluently in the language of trust. I love you in the ways taught through and by way of negligence. So I will always show up for you and true as I do self. That is my vow to you with love and transparency. Dear self, you are an overflowing river of love, a downpour of currents kicking up river stones. Don't you know you're never alone? You see, you must listen for their songs is in the trees, 'cause the willows be singing. Hear the rushing harmonies through the leaves, with love and prosperity. Dear children, you are the epitome of freedom. Did you know that you are just as free as the birds that fly high. I know that you knew of your wondrous nature, your excitement told through the tales of laughter. You see the waters rushing towards you as your little feet run through the coastal islands. It's the spirit of the water that has been calling for your liberation. Beautiful, amazing, curious souls you are. Tell me, have you ever seen your reflection in a moonlit blanket full of stars? Do you see the shine in the constellations refract in your eyes, or hear the song of your legs whooshing through tall blue grass? Yes. You see, let me be the one to tell you that you are all. You are indeed all. That you are the most marvelous creation sought after. And with that, know you are protected, guided. May you be treated with kindness, tenderness. May you know nurturing and your name in the same breath. May you embrace your superpowers, they've been within you all along. May you always sing your heart song with love and sacredness.
I was on mute. That was a song. That's what that, you know what I mean?
A song?
Yeah, it read like a song, like not like I heard music, but just like the way you spit that joint. And I can't even call it the way you recited it. The way you sang it just now, you sang that. That's what that was. I'm going with that.
I'll take that.
You are the dirt I return to, dear children. You are the epitome of freedom. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're connected anyway. People are, human beings. Of course, through touch. You know what I'm saying? With this pandemic, there hasn't been much, right? But just like just a vibration. And so all the things I've been writing, it's like you're touching on them. Like Jorrin talking about her mother and just family and that dynamic and who you are to your own friends and maybe even family members, Jorrin. And then Ajay, you just talking about, you know what I mean? Just like water. And I'm the water bearer, Ajay. I'm the water bearer. Aquarius in the house. No, so look.
You are.
And it's the age right now. I feel like I feel like I feel that shift taking place. Like everything in me is just kind of like, it's a great place to be, and I mean that's the destination, be.
Simply.
And so I want a couple more pieces out of y'all. Y'all got one more round in y'all?
Yes.
All right, well, let's go then. Let's go, Jorrin. I'll find something too. I'll share too, but let's start with Jorrin.
So this poem is kind of for a friend, but I blast my music to distract me from the ever-looming depression storm brewing in my mind and heart. But my tears leave my eyes without my permission and burn the cuts in my wrists. Mom tells me I just do it for attention, implying if I really wanted to do something, I would do it. Dad's voice echoes in my mind, don't ever hesitate. Although he was talking about driving, not dying. Although maybe he could give advice on that too. When he cooked me breakfast and told me I was his reason for living, that I was his life, I wonder if he meant it. Because if so, I would have to ask why he did it. Did he dream of me? Did I flash before his eyes? Did he spend so much time sleeping his life got jealous and killed him? I wonder if he knew he would try to permanently go to sleep while telling me to be strong when I scratched my knees on concrete, or when I flooded my pillow sheets with tears after finding out my crush didn't like me as much as I did them. When we went to church and he told me we partake of Jesus' body to remember when he sacrificed himself on Calvary to atone for our sins, I wonder if he sacrificed himself to atone for mine. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but whatever made you feel like I was better off without you must have been the worst storm, because you were always my warmonger. You were the steady tree holding me above the floods. You were my spine holding me upright. Sometimes what doesn't kill you just makes you weak. We speak as if trauma is a rite of passage and not a scar, as if it's not a hard to swallow pill that can make some choke. You called me your pretty girl, and now you're sitting casket pretty. You always said how much my messy room made you feel cramped, so I wonder how you feel in your coffin, and if you'll make friends in Cemetery City, I wonder you can still dream of me wherever you are. I was playing with my life while you were here, and now that you're gone, I feel like I'm the only part of you that's left. Without you, I am free falling through this world until you and sleep catch me, but for you, I will live. I will brave the storm of life with you as my backbone, forever holding me upright. Actually, while reading that, that's it. But actually, while reading that, I realized that is about a friend, but it's also about me, like the sacrifice part. Like,
Hmm.
me and my aunt had a conversation once about if we felt my mom sacrificed herself or so that we could spend more time together.
Hmm. Huh. Sacrifice. That's a very interesting, whole different, setup. Not even an open mic. It's a whole different class and conversation. Sacrifice is very interesting. Very interesting. There's something that I would think is more of a physical thing that takes place in the way of sacrifice could actually be based on one's perception. You know what I mean? Of what it is, of what it actually is. Because the way we use it these days and how people feel like they've done that in certain instances. You know what I mean? I sacrificed. It's just interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Thank you for that. It's given me, a whole lot to, kind of pull from this open mic is. I appreciate it, y'all. Thank you for being here. And I haven't shouted out, people that could be watching. So let me just say hello again. Words, Beats, and Life, Open World, Open Mic. I'm Rob Brown. This is Jorrin and Ajay. And we just been doing our round robin thing, and we're going to continue. I'm going to jump in after you, Ajay. Go ahead and do your thing, baby.
Okay. I'm going to read a series of poems that have been published, but I don't know, like they all have titles, but I feel that the titles here don't necessarily matter anymore now that I'm going back to them. So I just would like you to imagine being in the dirt, and then somehow you go through a metamorphosis and you come out of the dirt, and then you're boomed in the sun. I probably slight myself too much, giving you all of me while you just give the bare minimum. I probably look like a damn fool growing my gardens in you and having to constantly nurture them back to life from your neglect. However, I stayed persistent and hope that maybe one day you would notice. Maybe one day you would notice the gardens blooming, but you didn't. You poisoned yourself, poisoning them, and you got me. I had to let them die. I had to withdraw from you to find another garden, one I could call my own, one I could stand in and shine in. You see, I'm done planting seeds in you, waiting for you, loving you with every fiber of my being. I'm tired of you controlling me and killing what I created with my own hands. My love, I used to grow gardens in you. And that was like waiting for a reply you already know the answer to. So why do I continue to waste my time? Even with keeping your most infamous lines in the back of my head for reassurance, I still know what I'm doing is wrong. Allowing you to step over me, diminishing my voice, then cutting off my tongue just to stop the truth in what I have to say. If you listened, maybe I wouldn't feel the need to constantly relay the message. You have destroyed my garden. I guess my problem was losing myself in you, choosing you instead of myself, revolving my world around you, trying to renew that spark I once felt, too afraid to stand on my own. I said, I probably look like a fool growing my gardens in you, knowing it's not the right thing to do. Oh, with your careless ways, seeing you tear me down with your eyes and undress me as you put your head between my thighs. I'm invulnerable and open, and this is just another day for you. A walk in the park and you don't even want to hold my hand. Yeah, I was that fool growing life with you, losing life with you, lost my life with you. And you sit with your belly full of laughter, your heart full and a smile so wide it was deceiving and terrifying in the moment. You were familiar to me. I seen that look before, went from seeing God in you to seeing the devil in your eyes, and your touch still like poison couldn't be my God. Man, I'm the fool. Should have listened to you when you said you were the black sheep. I should have listened to you when you said you were the black sheep, barely able to stand to my feet with you pushing me down, burying what is me and bringing someone new back to life, someone you wanted, someone you could nurture and manipulate. And oh, how I bloomed. I stuck out like a sore thumb, stunning. I was gorgeous in my garden, or so I thought. I was flourishing in my garden, or so I thought. I was happy in my new garden, or so I thought. Yeah, I was flourishing in my garden, or so I thought. You see, your ownership got lost in translation because I thought this was something different. I swore I thought I was going to shine. You know, that was probably my problem, acting before I had time to think how you would infect all that I was. I clung onto your poison like a parasite, then inflicting my own pain, sucking the life out of you, out of me, only to be wasted, choosing to stay in this infested home you and I destroyed together. You see, this was a joint effort. I know you wanted to do this all on your own. Still, I stayed and made this house a home for our souls to disintegrate in. Yes, I clung to your dead vines as if they could support my blossoms trying to bloom around you. They tried. Oh, how they tried. Sprouted blue, sprouted buzz of what I would call joy. Once again, growth is stunted. You can't have a flourishing garden with dead soil never tended, so I decided to die. You killed off. We killed off everything else. It was time. I had run my course with you. I asked God to deliver me from mine, no, yours, our infectious ways, to make me new again because I was no longer yours. I was never yours to begin with. God rooted me up and told me to stand in it. She said, this is what it's like to stand in the sun. Now I am flourishing. Now I am shining. This is my garden.
You better tell him. You weren't angry, but you know how you hear those angry poems like that? You be like, tell him why you mad, son. That's dope. That was dope. That was
Did you see me try to? I had to like reach in on what I was feeling when I wrote it.
Hey, I'm telling you, that was great though. You tapped in and delivered it. You know what I mean? So we can understand exactly what it was you were experiencing at the time you wrote it, or experiencing at all. Yeah. Mozzie said we saw. You asked that question. Mozzie said we saw. Yeah. I had this piece, y'all, and I want to share it. And hold on one second. My apology. I want to share it, and it's not finished. Just one word in it. Itch, like that word is in it, but it's relevant to the piece. And I'm just going to say itch. I'm not going to actually say the word. So just so y'all know ahead of time, what it's supposed to be, audience, Jorrin, and I'm going to say itch though, like as in, but not as in. Okay, it's one of the pieces that is going to go into this book, Body Parts, and yeah, it goes like this, y'all. I don't know that I wanted this. I believe that you can't help the hand that you were dealt. I'm just leery of the cards themselves, like who's really dealing and who did the shuffling. Moreover, do I get the cut? Although I know you choose your parents, so my theories may just be leftover stuff from the life before this life of me. I know that I wanted children. I think I wanted them without the mothering. Thought maybe I could reinvent the concept of being a parent, more like a friend with the fear of God benefits. When I needed to, I could pull out a switch, which was more like friend to mama than back again. And I wanted to be all the things except the itch. Never thought of myself that way. That's why my homegirls know that hey itch game ain't one that I play. I had a baby girl. And I not only wanted her, I needed her, and I knew this right away. Staring at her picture, she lay in this incubator. The expression on her face looked like she wanted me to save her. She a week new to my world. I'd never seen a more beautiful picture of a little girl. And not with the eyes you gain after you deliver a baby, but more like the shift of the universe taking place, like the age of Aquarius and the freedom in the unknown. I could see the absolute real world. Still in her hospital gown, she was the size of profound. She taught me right away that she was a little scared, a lot of selfish, and that her ability to take life in fully may be a fight to learn the similarities between sight and sound. She taught me for the first time what it was like to be in awe. I knew, too, that this was the only girl I'll ever love so deeply. So frightened myself that she had the nerve to choose me like, little girl, what could you possibly see? I just wanted to protect her from the unseen and seen forces, and especially wanted to protect her from me, like my trauma, blown into glass ceilings, the reeling of my inflexibility, the material world's definition of self and me trying to find me. Riding the ox in search of the ox. Now the ox got two seats. I eat, she eats. She breathes, I breathe barely. She sleeps, I sleep with one eye open. The third planet from a ball of flames. She was my son, Jordan, her name. And as I mentioned, it's not finished, but yeah. Anyway, You know, that's how we do it out here in these poetry streets, y'all. You know, hey, this was cool. This was real cool. How y'all feeling? I feel pretty good.
I feel very good. I feel very proud of myself the house is very full.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll get on here, or even when we're in class, and I won't project my voice
You did
because
that.
it will it carries.
Yeah.
And today I didn't care about it carrying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was very, very
They
nice.
say I speak real soft, and I imagine I do. I've heard myself, like, if that makes any sense. I can hear myself, and I don't guess I feel the need to be loud, but I am called out a lot about projecting. It's just that I think I worked so much on not projecting. You know what I mean? Like in a different sense, using it in a different way, that I have to be mindful of it. But this has been great. This was open world, open mic. Late night WHUR my future. I've actually already done I've actually already done that, believe it or not. I've done the joint, the open mic joints. I've done it before. So there's that. One second, babe. But anyway, no. So I'm here and
In real time, in real life.
he's in real life, in real time. You can if you want to, in real time. And I'm trying to appease all these people at the same time. But yo, thank you for joining me, y'all. This has been such a pleasure. I love open world, open mic. I've been your host, and you've been a special guest, and I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.